In this video, I'm going to share with you the secret business model I use to make over $1,200 per day with 90 to 95% in profit at only 22 years old. So honestly, this stuff, it can make you so much money. It feels like it's illegal, even though it's not. So as you can see on my screen, I've included some proof of money I've received in my company. I could have put way more screenshots, but that is just to give you an example and to show you I know what I'm talking about. Now, when we get to 30,000 subs on YouTube, I'm going to give away $2,000. All you've got to do to win that money is to watch the video until the end, to subscribe, and to share it with a friend. And I also have a gift for you. In the description of this video, you will find a free 0 to 1.2k a day training. And right now, I'm also offering free strategy calls where together we identify what's blocking you from making more money and we come up with a game plan for you to get to $10,000 per month as quickly as possible. But be quick if you're interested, because our limited spots fill up extremely quickly. And I don't know for how long I'm going to keep making this offer. So right now, what I want you to do is to forget about most popular business models. So as you can see, if you do what is popular and what everybody else is doing, you will get very disappointing results because you're following the 99% of people that struggles. I mean, think about this. You probably see lots of quotes on TikTok and Instagram about being different than the 99% of society so you can be in the top 1% and you can make more money and live a better life. But then what's funny is that even when you try to do business, there's what 99% of business owners are doing unsuccessfully, and then there's what the 1% of successful business owners is actually doing. I mean, the stats show that 9 out of 10 startups fail. So we find that principle again, the 90 to the 10% that actually succeeds. And in reality, it can be closer to 1%. So here's what 99% of people try to do in business. They try to start a dropshipping business. They try to start a school community. They try to do a print-on-demand business or invest in the stock market or worse crypto, do Amazon FBA, affiliate marketing, or invest in real estate. And I'm not saying that all of those businesses are bad and can't make you money. If you do them properly, they can make you a lot of money. And there's at least one person on the planet who got rich thanks to those businesses. However, some businesses are much more difficult to succeed with, and some businesses are quite saturated compared to others. So why would you not pick the easiest, most profitable opportunity to make more money? That would be stupid, wouldn't it? So if I take the example of dropshipping, I myself tried dropshipping when I was in high school with one of my friends. It was sold to us as an easy business model, you know. And so we built a Shopify store, we sold a flat squeeze mop, then we sold fitness clothes for women, and we lost thousands of dollars. We made a few sales, but that was it. So we were just left with nothing at the end of it. And that's the trap you fall for when you're trying to get easy money. That's the problem. Now, what about school communities? School communities can make you very rich if you have a big audience. If you don't have an audience, forget about it completely. Now, what about print on demand? Honestly, this is one of the most saturated businesses you could possibly start. It's even worse than dropshipping. Let's say you create your shop on Printful and whatever. Who do you think is going to buy your stuff? Honestly, you're probably not going to get a single sale. You'd be lucky to get 10 sales per year because you're competing against everybody else who's selling the same kind of stuff. So if you rely on luck to become wealthy, I mean, I'm sorry to say it to you, but this is stupid. You can't rely on luck to become wealthy. You've got to find a way, a path that allows you to make your own luck. So unless you're Justin Bieber or you've got some very unique design that you can put on your shirts and mugs and stuff, stay the hell away from print on demand. I'm going to cross it in red so you can see stay the hell away from it. This too and this too. What about investing in the stock market? Well, this is great at making you rich if you're already rich. So to give you an example, if you invested $200 a month in the stock market, yes, when you're 60 or 70, if you start young enough that is, you might have $1 million to retire with. But that's it. Your youth, you wouldn't have enjoyed it at all. And now when you're old, now you can travel. Now you can do stuff. But what if you're sick, you know? What if you're exhausted from decades of work and you don't feel like doing anything? Your youth, your 20s, 30s, even let's say your 40s, those are the most valuable years of your life. So do not waste them hoping that one day you're gonna be rich and be able to get out with $1 million to retire. This is not a dream. It's a slow, painful grind to the finish line. And a while ago, I was talking to a man who was 40 to 50, and he had been diligently investing in the stock market for decades. And he had a good 9 to 5, he was making decent money, but it still wasn't enough for him to be financially free just from the returns of the stock market. So forget about that. If a dude who had invested for decades with a good 9 to 5 job couldn't even make it work, why would you make it work? The stock market or real estate, it's great if you can invest 100k to $1 million upfront. You'd get a very good return on your investment. But if you can only invest $200 a month or less than that, I mean, this is the worst thing you could do. I've spoken to people who invested $2,000 in the stock market and they're still not financially free because it's not enough money, obviously. Now, what about real estate? Well, just to get started with real estate, you need, like I said, 100k to a few $1 million. So it's a lot of startup capital. And banks aren't just going to hand you money just like that. I mean, for them, it's a business. They need to be sure you can repay them and that it's going to be worth their time. So you've got to ask somebody else for permission, and they don't really care about you becoming financially free. They just care about them making more money as a business. And let's say you wanted to earn $10,000 per month from rental properties. Let's say each rental property gives you $1,000 a month. You would need to have 10 properties, okay? If that's less, you'd need 15, even 20 properties. And how much money would you need to buy 20 properties? Let's say they all cost $100,000. I mean, times 20? Let's do the math. $100,000 times 20, you would need $2 million. So if you had $2 million already, then most likely you wouldn't be watching this video, would you? Now, what about affiliate marketing? The big pro of affiliate marketing is that you can start selling products which are not your own, and so you don't have to spend months worrying about building a product. But the big downside is you get tiny commissions, you'd be lucky to get 50%, and if it's physical products, oh my god, you get even less. So profit margins, which would have been thin, become even thinner. And that's exactly why, unless you have a big audience or you're great at running paid ads, you're a pro, you're not going to be profitable. You're going to lose all your money. What about Amazon FBA? The other day, I was talking with somebody who had invested over 10 to 30K in his Amazon FBA business, and he was getting a couple of sales, but it still wasn't enough for him to replace the income he made with his day job, and he was making a few $1,000s per month with his job. So it's like all that money he invested into inventory, into the Amazon fees and stuff. I mean, he bought so much inventory, it's like it's just sitting in Amazon's warehouse. So forget about it. What about investing into things like crypto? Honestly, I would say that 80% of the time, you invest in safe things. So for example, real estate or the stock market. And then 20% of the time, you can invest in riskier investments. So for example, crypto or things which are not 100% secure, things which have more volatility. But so if you expect that crypto is going to make you rich, again, you're hoping. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is a recipe for disaster. It means you don't even trust yourself to build a business that will actually make you money. So forget about crypto unless you've got money to waste potentially and to play around with. So if those businesses models don't work, they're trash, they're not good for beginners, what the hell do we do to become financially free? Is it just a dream that can't even be achieved? Well, no, that's not true. Remember what I showed you earlier. I made that kind of money and it wasn't with any of those businesses. It was with a much better business instead. So here is exactly why we sell high-ticket digital products and services. And I'm going to show you examples so it becomes very clear. So the first thing is high profit margins, typically between 90 to 95%, which means that if you make 10K, you keep most of what you make. You keep 9K to 9.5K, okay? Whereas with those businesses, you'd be lucky to keep 5 to 20% in profit. So if you made 10K, you would only keep $500 to 2K. Honestly, how can you live a comfortable life with this? It's not enough. Especially if you have to pay taxes again on top of that, which you will. So it's horrible. The other pro is you only need a few customers to replace the income you make with your job. So let's say you're making $3,000 or let's say you're making $3,000 to $4,000 a month with your job. With 1 or 2 customers, depending on how much you price your offer, you replace the income you make with your job. Because one client typically pays us anywhere between $1,000, and that's on the lower end, to $5,000 plus. So I know some offers which sell for $8,000, okay? I know some offers that sell for $15,000. So it's like there's no limit, but the average is $1,000 to $5,000. So if you could sell an offer for $3,000, with one client, you make the same amount that you make with your job. And with 2 customers, you make more money than you do with your job, but actually working on something that you love. And that's fun to do. Something that actually gives you freedom. You don't have a boss to answer to. You are your own boss. The other thing is, it works in any industry and any niche, as long as you can identify a problem to solve for people. So let me give you a few examples. Let's say you're in good shape. I'm not saying you have to be certified because you don't. Like, people do not care about your certifications. All that people care about is that you can help them to solve a painful problem. I've never had one of my customers say, "Oh, well, do you have an MBA?" Because they don't care. It's worthless. I have no business degrees and I make more money than people with MBAs. That's because, except if you're a lawyer or a surgeon, degrees are pretty much worthless. What matters is the skill. And lots of people have degrees, but they don't have any skills. But you can't fake the skill. You have the skill or you don't. So let's say you're in good shape. Lots of people would love to learn from you how to be in good shape. Let's say you're great in dating, like it's effortless for you. You could help people to find the love of their life, or to repair their relationships. That's worth a lot of money. I know people who charge 4K to help men to find dates. That's it. If you could help somebody to overcome an addiction, again, you're changing their life. Do you realize that? I mean, it's worth so much more than 3 to 5K. If you could help people to invest in real estate or the stock market, you can honestly charge 5 to 10K for that alone, because if they invest, it's going to help them to make 10 times that amount. Now, this is a screenshot that I took myself. So for example, as you can see, there's one booked call, a new call, again. And so I put this screenshot here to show you some of my customers, they also do done-for-you lead generation services. So they help businesses to get more leads or more calls, and that's how they make more money. And so if you can help a business to do this successfully, I mean, they would be down to pay you, anywhere from 1 to 5K plus per month. I know some offers who sell for 10,000 to honestly $20,000 per month. As long as you can help them to get a return on their investment, the pricing is going to make sense. So how do we do it step by step? Well, the first thing, like I shared with you, is an offer. So let's say you speak two languages, Spanish and English. You could help people to learn Spanish or English. And the reason why people would want to learn that skill, it's because it might help them to communicate with people they love. It might help them to get more job prospects and to improve their career, to get more opportunities and to increase their income. So you need to help them to fix this painful problem. If you're in good shape, same thing. You can help people to get in great shape. If you're a software engineer, you can help other people to get the degree to become software engineers themselves because you've gone through the process. So it's like there's lots of different things you could do. Like lots of my customers, you could even do done-for-you services for people, for businesses, to help them to get more leads. And you would charge a monthly recurring fee for that service. So that is your offer. All you've got to focus on is to solve a painful problem for a group of people. Now the next step after that is traffic. We typically do this with social media, appointment setting, and ads. Now at first when you're a beginner, you don't need to worry about ads, so now let's forget about it. But we make targeted content on social media to attract our ideal customers. And then we directly reach out to our leads to essentially figure out if we could help them with our offer or if we can't. And if we can help them, then we want to move them to a call because that is where the sale is going to happen. So unless you're a brand like Apple or Dior, you can't really sell like high ticket stuff over a sales page. So for example, a page with a button to buy, because most people will not buy. Typically on sales pages, only 0.2% of visitors buy. That's why instead we want to do a call, because on calls, 20 to sometimes 40% of people actually buy. So it's literally 100 times to 200 times more. So would you rather sell 100 times to 200 times more or sell 100 times to 200 times less? That's the choice you've got to make. When it comes to delivery, there's different models of delivery. So for example, one-to-one coaching, there's group coaching, and then there's done-for-you services. And then of course you can leverage digital products like courses. So for example, you can give people a group and then one-on-one calls, and then you can also offer them a digital product on top. So you can have different offers really. And then there's appointment setting. We want to be proactive. So whenever somebody likes your post, they comment, they give you their contact information to get access to a free training, for example. You want to recontact these leads because you want to see whether or not you could help them. Don't just wait for people to book calls and to come to you. Go to people and ask them if they would be interested in what you've got to offer, if it could help them. Now, I want to share with you why 99% of people never succeed in making money online. The first thing is they either think they need tens of thousands of dollars to get started or that they can start with $10. Both are wrong because it takes money to make money. So if you only have $10 right now, like I share with you, you need to find a way to get a few grand to start your business properly. So it could be a job, it could be reselling the stuff that you don't need, etc. But if you only try to start with $10, your chances of success, they're extremely low. Now, the number two thing is people forget about the fundamentals of business. They try to resell the same crap as everybody else with dropshipping or to sell the most or unoriginal product on print-on-demand websites. But they forget that people won't pay you just because you want to make money. People will pay you if you can solve painful problems for them. That's it. So when you resell the same mug as everybody else, for example, in your dropshipping store, you're not solving a painful problem for anyone. People can get mugs anywhere. When you resell the same unoriginal print-on-demand products, you're not solving a problem. And that's why your shirt isn't priced $500, because it's literally a shirt just like many others exist. You've got to solve painful problems if you want to make a lot of money. The third thing is, people want it all with no effort. They want everything to be 100% passive. But there is no such thing as 100% passive income. Investing in the stock market is probably the closest thing, but it's a tool to make rich people richer. It's not meant to make everyday people rich fast. What makes people rich fast? When they apply it consistently, it's the motto I shared with you. So that's basically it. Now be honest with yourself. If you already knew how to make $10,000 per month or more, you would have done it already. Which is why to help you right now, I'm offering free strategy calls where together we'll come up with a game plan for you to get to $10,000 per month as quickly as possible. The link will be in the description below, but be quick if you're interested because our limited spots fill up extremely quickly and I don't know for how long I'm going to keep making this offer. With that being said, I will see you on the other side.